Hi, everybody. Welcome to Twin Flame Tribe. I am Stella.
And I am David.
So, the big question of the day is what the heck
Is
is a
a
twin
twin
flame?
flame.
Like, what on earth is a twin flame? So, David and I have been friends for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
We've accumulated a lot of experiences and growth together. And we definitely realize that the connection between us exceeds traditional friendships
Mm-hmm.
and relationships, okay? But we are friends. And so this is something that most of the twin flame community doesn't always get into. It's like, okay, a lot of the twin flame references are very
Very
romantic,
yes,
right?
yes, and we had our own experiences with that, and decided that we were more like brother and sister than uh, any kind of romantic involvement, and
Yeah.
that has made our lives so much better.
Yeah, for the growth, for the sake of growth, right? And
Mm-hmm.
awakening. Sometimes it's nice to not have that distraction,
Yeah, the
right?
expectations.
Yeah, the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
So, the one thing that we really want to clarify is that when you are dealing with the twin flame world, doesn't always necessarily have to be romantic, right? And it can happen in the form of teachers,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Community,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, teachers,
parents.
parents, siblings. There's all types of ways that people can come together and be twin flames, right?
Yes. So there is a difference between a soulmate
And a twin
and a
flame.
twin flame.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference is mirroring, right? And how much that relationship is going to propel you for your highest good and your highest growth.
Yeah, and so with that, the mirror becomes the teacher, and that's a thing that you really have to remember and keep in your memory is that twin flames aren't necessarily always beautiful and nice and loving. Sometimes they can show you an aspect or part of you that you don't like.
Yeah,
Uh,
something that's unresolved or residing on a dormant level,
mhm.
right? So it's a prompting that occurs in the soul that initiates the twin flame connection. And so it's like you're sending out signals and the universe hears you because that's its job is always to deliver. And then poof, there you are meeting your catalysts.
Mm-hmm.
Some come in the form of disguise, is
Yeah.
more where my brain was going because dependent on where you are in your consciousness, you're going to get the appropriate and relevant teacher.
Mm-hmm.
When I was communicating with my guides, a guide will always answer a question with another question. So the guide said, "But what if you have a twin flame for every consciousness that you're in?"
Oh yeah, that makes it mind blown.
Right? Like we keep having this feeling like there's okay, one twin flame. Like the premise of the twin flame in the past is, you come into this reality and you split.
Mm-hmm.
You're the same soul and you fragment into two bodies. And
That's not
basically to
necessarily.
accelerate growth,
Yeah.
but I don't I don't see that as necessarily possible, and I'm not possible,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't see that as necessarily accurate for every twin flame
No.
connection. I'm not saying some people aren't that because we're barely scratching the surface of understanding quantum mechanics and physics, right?
Yes.
But that's not necessarily so for every case.
And I think in that sense, you could consider a pair of twin flames as quantum entanglement. and so that our souls are entangled, so that when we need each other, that process is there to be able to communicate on a level much much higher.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So we're an accumulation of energy centers,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the idea, just as a quick breakdown to explain twin flames, is the female or the feminine, doesn't matter what gender you prefer. We're either going to be yin or yang for the sake for the purpose of this explanation, right? So the feminine energy is very yin,
Mm-hmm.
and the masculine energy is
It's
very
very
yang.
yang.
So the women come in from the crown and they draw energy down into the heart space, whereas the man banks in the
brings
root.
yeah brings up energy from the root, and it also comes to rest in the heart space.
Right? So there's this mirroring that occurs. And so it depends on whether you're willing to heal or not, right? And that's going to signify the results that you get from your mirroring twin flame experiences. If you have a lot of suppression and unresolved energy stuck in those energy centers, those chakras, it's all going to dump.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quick little diagram that I'd like to share, and actually I'll get David to hold it because I can't.
I shall be the
Right.
helper.
So when you connect with another individual, your energy field goes out about 8 to 12 feet, sometimes 6 to 12 feet, sometimes wider. But this is just the basic energy ratio of how far we go out. So the moment that you encounter anybody, there's a mingling of the aura that occurs, right? These little fibers, these little signals are being sent out, and messages are happening all the time. And you're either giving or receiving in all of these energy centers all the time, right? This is how empaths accumulate energy, is they just start plugging into each other and storing, and then they don't release things, or they explode things. So if you have an imbalance in your solar plex or your throat, all that's going to come out and mirror to the twin flame. And based on where you are in your emotional energy spectrum, in your emotional maturity, it's either going to be a loving experience or a catastrophic experience. That's why sometimes people label the twin flame as like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah.
But it could be a good thing, right? Based on your willingness to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to be bad. I mean, when you collide energies, you can expand the chakra system, and you can have full on miracles with the twin flame connection. Right?
Yes.
Doesn't
We've
have to
experienced it ourselves.
be. Yes, and that is, we are going to touch on that
That
in other
experience,
videos,
yeah.
and basically how we were drawn back together as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm interested, and we're interested in hearing on what everybody else thinks about the twin flame. We do have someone that, of course, people that will join us in our conversations on the twin flame connection. We're not in any way saying that we are perfect at this or that we're experts at this. We're just sharing, what we've learned over the years. So we're open to the dialogue of twin flame connections with other twin flame couples or
Absolutely,
tribes.
yeah.
So this is about sharing and growing to accelerate our awakening right now, because the call has never been stronger.
Absolutely. It's that time. It's the time in the life of the cycle that we should all be working together.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We have more videos and more topics to share.
Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.